Okay, so we should be starting here in just a second. Yep, here we go.
And Glan gets blue mail to start. That's our one mail upgrade we're going to see this seed.
And Jet picks up 300 rupees in the Sanctuary chest. So we're not looking for a lot of money early on, it looks like.
Yep, that definitely de-incentivizes a Houlihan play. I don't think either of these runners would have done that, but well, you got the money you need for the early plays there. So Jet's... Oh, we see our first big key, Hera, in the well. Don't know if we need it yet.
Yeah, seeing as this is Key Sanity, we do not know what our pendants and crystals are until we get the maps for those dungeons or we beat those dungeons.
Jet takes the Lumberjack, only a piece of heart, so that's a bit of a relief. Whenever you see a key there, you basically spend the entire race wondering if you need that. But piece of heart, we will not be needing to come back for that. A little bit more money in the woods. Jet seemed unsure if he wanted to pick it up, but decides to.
Yeah, if you're trying to get money early on, it's good to just go ahead and get it, especially if it's more 50 rupees or more. Okay, and looks like Jet will have enough bombs to make it through all of Kakariko today.
Yeah, nice little start here, getting the rupees and the bombs they need for their Kakariko checks. Now, I saw that piece of heart and Lumberjack. Another change to note for hard mode is that they will max out at 14 hearts. I believe 6 heart containers, 20 heart pieces. So they'll have to deal with a little less life as well.
Yeah, and based on seeing that heart piece there on Lumberjack, it's likely that they will not even get to 14 hearts because of that. There's our first sword in Blind's hideout.
Let's get the red boomerang, a compass, and our first small key to Ice Palace. Ice is not a bad key to get. You'd like to have one going in there for routing. Though it is one of those dungeons that you technically don't need a key to beat if you do some glitches.
Yes. With one key, though, you can go in there without the hook shot and with the hammer, and you can get all the right side chests.
Alright, so we're starting with... Oh, there's a mirror.
Alright, that mirror does not open anything by itself just yet. Hey, but there's a lamp. That could be useful.
And our first map for Turtle Rock. Won't be able to check that just yet.
A 5% return is not a good return on investment.
Yeah, they got too many rupees. The bottle vendor had to equalize that a little bit.
And a chicken hut, another map to Hera. Okay, we can go ahead and check and see what one of our first dungeons rewards will be. I mean, if Jet will allow us to see that.
It's still early, so some runners will elect to hold on their map checks until a little later when they've at least done some early checks. Since really there's not much you can do in dungeons at this point.
Okay, what is in the library today? Just a shield. Probably not going to go back for that.
Yeah, that shield's going to sit up there for the whole seed.
course, there are 2 other shields still left in the pool, so we may end up with a fire shield anyway. And also just a green rupee on the race game, so we also won't worry about that.
And Jet, with that sword, is gonna go to check. Gonna check Uncle. He also may elect to go into Hyrule Castle, clear out the front of that.
Now, with that sword, which Glan did not have upon first checking the secret passageway near the uncle, so Jet, with that sword, can go through the front of Escape, and also check the dark cross chest in the back of Escape.
Now, one thing interesting to note about Escape here is that the 2 chests in the castle that are locked behind the first key door are technically not in logic until you get the Hyrule Castle small key. But most runners will go ahead and grab it anyway. One thing about Key Sandy is sometimes it is very difficult to keep track of how all the logic of this is supposed to work.
Yeah, of course, for all intents and purposes, that Hyrule Castle small key is probably the most useless small key to find in the game.
Yeah, that's true. Especially once you have the lamp and the glove, you have no need for it. Though the key could occasionally be used to lock something in the back. Specifically, if the glove is locked behind the items that are in the back of Escape. Or if the glove's just locked in the back of Escape.
Of course, in open mode, it's different because you can still get to the back of Escape without falling down the grave. In standard mode, once you complete this escape sequence, the door closes and you can't get back there.
And speaking of useless items, we found the map to Hyrule Castle.
That came from the dam, right?
Yep. There's 2 useless maps you don't want to see. Hyrule Castle and Ganon's Tower. They don't give you any info.
And then, of course, the useless compass is Ganon's Tower compass.
Now, interestingly, Glan used his bombs here. So, if he wants to go check Ice Rod Cave, he doesn't have a bomb for that now. Hey, there's our other useless map.
So we already have both the useless maps. Oh, bailed out by the uncle bombs from that chest in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, that is a good find. And he is going to head over that way. Well, Jet's got one more chest he can check here.
And it is a mushroom. Ooh, okay.
That's an interesting pickup. Could lead to something.
Now, Jet saved and quit, and I wonder if they're going to immediately... No, they're pulling out the mirror. They're going to go do the dam. Okay. And we have the flippers in the Ice Rod Cave. Hey!
All right, that opens up some extra checks, and I think Glan's going to go do those right away. Now, we'll see if Jet elects to go to Ice Rod Cave. Some runners put that off.
I'm sure that Glan would like to have 100 more rupees before going all the way up to Zora's Domain.
Jet's not even bothering with the map. Interesting.
Little does he know that will work out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just information at the end of the day, but still, you know, not even going for a map is a bit of an interesting call.
The old man on the bridge has a key for us.
For
Oh,
Hyrule
hey!
Castle.
Now we can go to the back of Escape.
Yeah, that unlocks everything in Hyrule Castle. And if a glove's back there, you might have to use that key.
And on the Lake Hylia Island, we have a compass.
And Jet's continuing, so he's gonna go get to Ice Rock Cave, get those flippers, and he has enough rupees for Zora right now. He picked up an extra 100 in Hyrule Castle. Glan's close. Has he checked the stun price? Oh no, Boomerang doesn't stun it hard.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's no real set in stone way to get rupees at this point, unless this Zora Ledge item is rupees, which it's a 20.
Not enough though. So well, Jet's not going to check Zora yet, so we don't know if that's going to be a good item yet or not. But Glan, I think he sees that Hyrule Castle key. He sees that lamp. He's thinking there's something here.
Jet looking like they might do flippers starting from Link's house.
Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. Let's see what Jet does with this Hyrule Castle key after he gets it. My guess is he might hold a little longer. Do Saharsla first, but it also depends on what Zora has, if he goes that way.
They continue onward.
And while these runners are retracing each other's steps, I also want to give a shout out to Febreze Ninja, who is our tracker for today. Going to be tracking all the small keys, big keys, and all the other items we'll be finding in this mode today.
Yes, big thank you to Febreze Ninja. Good luck, good tracking today. Okay, now that Jet, since we already knew that Jet has a bunch of rupees, he's going to include Zora in this flippers check. Interesting thing, if there's nothing from Zora here, Jet very well might just hard reset if there's nothing good here. But we'll see.
Yeah, he could. Just a compass. He's not going to hard reset. Yeah, he didn't find... Well, he did find that Hyrule Castle small key.
That was the only thing I think he might not have hard reset for.
But he's most likely heading towards Saharsla now. So Glan grabs that mushroom, and now he's going to check 3 more chests that Jet had to leave behind. If there's something back here, that could give Glan an early advantage. Though Glan, I think, still forgets that he can't stun with boomerangs in this mode. Oh no, he might just be using that for the key.
Our green pendant today is... Oh, we didn't have to check the map for Tower of Hera.
So got a big key to ice, small key to desert. Some interesting progression. Let's see what Glan finds. Oh, there's a glove. So that Hyrule Castle key might be required.
Yeah, if there's another glove in like the Dark World or something like that, then yes, that key was required.
And I think Glan's gonna go up Death Mountain with that key. Or with those gloves. It all kind of depends on where that second glove is at this point. Like I said, if it's in Dark World or if it's locked behind the glove somewhere else, then that key is absolutely required. So Jet's in Eastern. He can get 4 chests in here. Will not be able to get the big chest or the boss.
Unless they find the bow / big key in here.
Yeah, the one good thing for Jet is if that glove is locking a lot of progression, it probably won't take him too long to get back down there.
Okay, with that Ganon Tower small key, we can be assured that we will be able to complete Ganon's Tower once we get there, provided that we have the big key before going there. Alright, Glan about to check the Spectacle Rock item, and it is... Oh, they're not checking it.
They're going to come back around, which makes sense because they're going to mirror up there anyway, so I can check that in a minute here.
Oh, that's a nice hint to find.
Yeah, so you don't have to do West Swamp, and then Glan found the Tower of Hera small key. So this seed is really pointing towards Tower of Hera right now.
Yes, we can now fully clear Tower of Hera with all that we are equipped with.
There's our first of 6 pod small keys. Right, last item in Eastern for Jet is a small key to pod.
Those could come in handy later, but for right now, they are not progression to us.
Glan's gonna leave the basement alone in Hera, and he is gonna go upstairs first. And yeah, Jet's heading back to Hyrule Castle. I think he knows there's something in the basement. Or in the escape area.
Yeah. Of course, they could have gone to turn the mushroom in or go on a Genius Cave, but they're just deciding to go to the back of Escape anyway.
For Jet, it's the most item-dense location available right now. And Glan finds the hookshot in Hera. And we get our GT Big Key hint, it's in Skullwoods.
Imagine if that was in this big chest of Skullwoods.
I think it was a swamp small key in the left side of the swamp?
You mean Skullwoods? It was just a Skullwoods small key.
Oh, yeah, Skullwoods small key, yeah. Yeah, if it's in the big chest of Skullwoods, then we do have to find that Skullwoods big key. But it would probably be easy enough to figure that out, though. At least.
Yeah, and since you don't need that big key to beat Skullwoods, that big key can be anywhere, literally anywhere.
Yep, that's even could be in Ganon's Tower. So Jet grabs his gloves. Glan, gotta be a little careful on Moldorm. He's down to 1 heart.
Nicely done.
Just a blue rupee, and he'll get the green pendant as well.
Okay, but He's probably going to ignore the basement since he got the hook shot in another chest and just go to East Death Mountain.
He'll probably come back in because he didn't check the other chest on the first level.
Oh, I actually didn't realize that either.
So he'll at least check this chest. Then we'll see if he goes downstairs. He's just gonna take care of it all right now. Not gonna want to leave anything behind here.
And that was also a good hint to find. That means they will not have to take the purple chest all the way to the man lost by the desert.
Glan misses the coffee break setup. He's gonna have to take care of this normally.
We already have the green pendant, so it wouldn't surprise me if we saw something important on Sahasrahla.
You know, at this point, we are also still looking for 2 items to get to the Dark World. We need the hammer and a glove, or hammer or glove, and the Moon Pearl. Unfortunately for Glan, the basement doesn't pay off just a piece of heart.
Alright, and as I said before, Glan is going to head over to East Death Mountain to check Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave.
And meanwhile, Jet didn't go into Spectacle Rock, so he didn't get that small key, which actually might end up working out for him, because he probably won't do Hera Basement as a result. But there's a Skullwoods key and the Titan's Myth, so that Hyrule Castle key was required.
Yes, it was.
Well,
Of
actually,
course.
go ahead.
Of course. Oh, hey, there's a Cane Samaria. Nice. That doesn't open anything up right now, but that's useful to have. And there's a Castle Tower small key and a bug net and a shot. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so there's another fetch quest. And a Castle Tower small key. Makes me a little nervous at this point. But Glan skips Spiral Cave though, which is interesting.
Yeah, also, I was going to say earlier, technically, if the flute was, like, in a Genius Cave, then technically, that key may not have been required at all.
Yeah, that is true, actually. But getting that Castle Tower small key, we do now also have another way into Dark World, which would be through Castle Tower, though that's unlikely at this point since all we need for Dark World access anyway is the Moon Pearl.
Okay, so the green pendant yielded us a Turtle Rock small key. So if Turtle Rock is a crystal, that is very valuable to us.
Yeah, if Turtle Rock's a crystal, that was technically required.
I mean, yes, in theory, all you need is 3 Turtle Rock small keys to get all the way through Turtle Rock, but logically you need all 4 to beat Turtle Rock.
Yeah, with we have a lot of. We're getting to a lot of isolated locations. We know Glan's not going to find anything in here. He'll get a pod small key. I think that was the biggest thing in here. Might have been a map as well. By this point, we're getting down to isolated locations. Spiral Cave, dig spots, mushroom, what else? Agina. So we're kind of we're getting down to on locations on where our next piece of progression could be.
Okay. Jet heading over to East F Mountain. We'll see if they will check Spiral Cave or not, and if it is something important, then Glan missed out.
Alright, so I got Jet dropping into Paradox Cave, Glan's continuing through Eastern.
Jet gonna find their mitts in here. Unless that Moon Pearl is in Spiral Cave, it'd be kind of inconvenient having to come back to Death Mountain for things like Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave.
Alright, so Jet's grabbed his cane, and yeah, he's gonna go check Spiral Cave.
Okay, let's see. Chat, what do you think? Will there be progression in Spiral Cave, the Mushroom, or Agina's Cave?
Well, Chad actually brings up a good point here. If the Moon Pearl's not here for Jet, he could elect to do Super Bunny and get 2 extra chests up here with that Titan's Myth.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, if you go down to this bottom portal on East Death Mountain, you can go up Super Bunny Cave, push the blocks, and then fall down, and then that will put you in a Super Bunny state where you can open chests. And it's a small key to Turtle Rock. Oh, Glan forgets about that. That might be important. And here's a shovel check. It is the Moon Pearl. Hey, there we go.
Okay, there's our Dark World access. And Jet is going to do Super Bunny. I guess today is Super Metroid.
Alright, so Glan with those mitts in the Moon Pearl, they're going to head straight into the Dark World over here by Village of Outcast.
Yeah, without the hammer, this is the only portal you can use to get to the Dark World. Sequence break won't yield much, just 300 rupees and some bombs. But Jet will also check what our Turtle Rock medallion is.
Jet may also check the map to see if there's any useful pendants or crystals to know about.
Glan finds the big key to Turtle Rock, and Jet gives us a check in its bombos.
Alright, Glan gonna take the dip into Thief's Town. Without the big key, we cannot get very far in here, but we can check the first 4 chests.
Ooh, Master Sword to start.
Jet about to find their Moon Pearl underneath the dig spot.
Some bombs in the second chest. Chad talking about potentially Turtle Rock early, and that is a possibility with 2 small keys and the big key already found. Well, actually, we do still need a Bombos medallion, though. Can't even think about that till we get Bombos.
And also, we don't have the hammer either. So.
Yeah, Turtle Rock does have a lot of requirements to get in there. So Glan picked up a Master Sword from the front of Thieves Town, but not much else. Another big key to desert. Need the flute or the book, though, before you can go in there. But that's everything we need to clear desert, except potentially the boots.
Okay, Jet going to go check Skull Woods. Now this is where we got a hint about the Gans Tower Big Key being in Skull Woods. So we'll be looking to see if we can find that here in these first few chests.
No, but that's the fire rod.
And then we can even check more of Skull Woods if we want to. Is that it? No, it's the Palace of Darkness Big Key. Okay.
Well, I doubt Glan's gonna avoid Skullwoods for too long, since he has that hint about the GT Big Key.
Now I think Glan checked the hint about nothing useful being in the purple chest, right?
He did, so he shouldn't do that. He does get a map to deserts. There's some more info. Got a few maps. We get a map check here? Nope, no map check. Jet gets the small key to Thieves. But Glan, no, he's not going to go for Skull Woods yet. He's going to wait.
They're looking to do the dig game, and then also do K45, Stumpy, and then maybe the first chest in Swamp, and then also Hype Cave.
As Glan picks up a small key to Pod, I do kind of wonder if he's waiting on Skull Woods until he finds the Fire Rod, which some runners like to do. Unfortunately for him, the Fire Rod's in Skull Woods. Of course, he's also got a bunch of checks out here, so it makes also sense to just loop in Hype Cave and everything right now.
Plus, with those flippers, they might opt to check the east side of Dark World as well.
And the only tough thing is, without the hammer, you only have access to one portal to get to the Dark World, and that's up in the Kakariko area. Got Jet gonna take on Mothula. Fighter's Sword, 5 Hearts, and Blue Mail. Gonna be a little tough.
I have faith in Jet's ability to fight Mothula this way, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Glan is checking the first chest of Swamp.
Oh, down to 1 heart, Jet.
Oh! Ooh, that hurts.
Well, I said I had faith, but I guess not enough. Or should I say I had too much faith?
Alright, Glan gets a hint, just arrows and deserts. What's this first chest? A big 20. So unfortunately that does not pay off for Glan.
On the other side, Jet did find that Gans Tower Big Key in that under the bridge chest in Skullwood.
Yeah, he's not going to try Mothula again. I think Had he not found the GT Big Key, he might have given Mothia another shot. But finding the GT Big Key, he's going to wait until he knows if he needs to clear it or not.
All right, over on the right, we got Hive Cave. What is our rating going to be today? We got a small key
The
to
swamp.
Hey!
That kind of hurts after you just trained it.
And a big key to Meyer. Okay, that's like 3 or 4.
Yeah, if I'm glad I'm a little ticked that I got that small key after opening Swamp, but I mean, you got it. At least you got it.
Yeah, the thing is though, they only wouldn't have been able to check one more chest anyway, since it didn't have the hammer.
And finally, find out a couple crystals: Pod and Turtle Rock, which we had maps for already.
Actually, no. If you talk to that bomb salesman, they will appear on your map regardless if you have the maps or not.
Ah, that must be a more recent change.
Yeah, it's the same principle as whenever you talk to Sahasrara to find out the green pendant information. The green pendant will appear on your map.
And Glan is going towards Pod. He's got 3 keys. But without Bow and without any potions, he would not be able to check everything except for... He's going to have to leave at least something behind.
Yeah, no bow, no hammer, no pod big key.
So we're kind of just now looking for that next piece of progression. Something that's going to give us a dungeon we can go after.
Right now, we do have Ice Palace open to us.
No, we don't. Oh, actually, yeah, you do. You're right. Fire Rod. That actually could be the play. Kane could be required to finish ice. Because that second ice key... I think you technically don't need the second ice key to finish Ice Palace.
Yeah, no, if there is a Ice Palace small key... Oh, there's the Bootsin pod! Wow! Very nice find for Glan.
But yeah, no hammer though, so they can't finish it.
Ah, yeah, you're right. That's the one part I was forgetting. So you were right from the start.
But Jet's gonna do a little glitch here, do some fake powder, see what's on Magic Bats.
I knew. I wonder why Jet was saving that mushroom. Now I see why.
Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off.
Yeah, oh well.
So Glan's down to 1 key. He'll have to decide what door he wants to open. And hopefully he knows his bomb jump, which I believe he does, so he doesn't have to worry about getting all 6 keys. Okay, there's the flutes. And desert is fully clearable now.
Yeah, and so that means that yes, that Hyrule Castle small key was required.
So if this is turning out to be a pretty good dip for Glan.
Yeah, very much so. And I've only got one more chest left to check in here.
Just 2 compasses in the dark maze and Glan's out.
I'll say that was a very good play by Glan.
Yeah, it's possible that you might have been able to come in here full clear this in one pass. We still don't know, but for now, it's looking like a pretty good play. And Glan's going to check the boot spots before activating that flute. And we're getting a lot of compasses at this point.
It's a shame that those are one of the most useless items in Key Sanity.
Yeah, if you're a new player, those compasses are great. But for experienced players, you don't need them. And there's the single rupee. We've seen both single rupees at this point now.
Yeah, so those boots not paying off just yet, but once they activate their flute, they can now go to Desert and Mire area.
And the way things are going, it looks like that. I think that it's looking more and more like that pod play is the right play. Let's see if Glan goes to Desert. Yep, he's heading right there.
Okay, and we can also get a look at what our Mire medallion is. Of course, we can't enter it since we don't have any medallions right now.
I think Glan is routing this a little more interestingly. I don't see people really route it this way. He's going to check Agina first.
Yeah, I'm used to seeing people go straight for Mire Shed since it has 2 chests in it.
Our tracker bringing up a good point to avoid the murder dactyl this way.
I mean, Glan has the boots, so they can just dash right by it, and it won't chase after them.
Yeah, but still, that bird's annoying. Alright, just a blue rupee in the checkerboard cave. And looks like ether for Misery Mire.
And in the Mire Shed, we have another sword upgrade and just some arrows. So it's very nice to have Tempered Sword, and that will be our max sword for the rest of the sea.
Yep. We have all the offensive firepower we're gonna get. I mean, obviously, well, we can obviously still get some other offensive weapons, but we're not gonna get any stronger than this. And Jet heading over to the east side. Let's see if he makes the dip in the pod as well. Oh, there's our Bombos medallion.
So those boots were required to get into Turtle Rock, and they are required to beat the Siege since Turtle Rock is a crystal.
And that's our 3rd Turtle Rock small key, I think.
Yeah, now where did Jet... Oh, there was a Turtle Rock small key in Spiral Cave, right?
Yeah, Jet got that one.
Okay, I was struggling to remember where all the Turtle Rock small keys were. Jet about to find their second Turtle Rock small key from Sahasrara.
So once we have that, once we have that hammer, a play into Turtle Rock is looking pretty good.
Or we could find the bow.
Okay, that is absolutely needed. Unfortunately, without either the Eastern Palace or Pod... Actually, no, Jet has the Pod Big Key from Skull Woods. But he doesn't have the bow yet, so he can't
They
do
also
anything.
don't have the hammer.
Oh, that's true.
So really that bow only opens the right side of Palace of Darkness.
And these runners couldn't even potion glitch over there because no bottles yet. And so far in this seed, Glan's route is paying off a little bit more for him. Jet does have that fire rod advantage, but Glan's route is yielded a little bit more.
Glan not opting to use the Tempered Sword to do a lot more damage.
Yeah, using arrows is an NMG strat, so that might have just been what he felt comfortable with. But he does take down Lamola's, only 50 rupees and another crystal. So we did get Bombos and the bow out of that, but unfortunately neither of those opens anything at this point, except for those two chests on the right side of Pod. Oh, Glan's good. Yeah, for Glan, actually, that does open up Ice Rod or Ice Palace. But he thought a second about that and decided, nah, I'm gonna do Dark World Death Mountain instead.
You know, without that hammer, they probably thought, you know, this is probably not a bad idea. There.
Okay, Jet's about to do his bomb jump. He's got the big key. He can check this chest that Glan had to skip. Small key to Meyer. That's not going to hurt Glan at all. Alright, so Jet has his flute and boots. He's going to continue in Dark World, though.
Yes, we have not seen a pyramid or a catfish just yet, and looks like we're about to see both of those. Meanwhile, on Glan's side, we're going to get our look at Hookshot Cave.
Small key to Pod. We do need at least one more of those. Oh, a big key to Thieves Town. So with the small key we found in the back, Thieves Town is clearable. And Quake, which actually is useless in this seed.
Okay, we still can't full clear Thieves Town without that hammer, though.
Yeah, we could get the crystal or pendant, whatever it is, but we'd have to leave a chest behind. Oh, Silver's on the pyramid ledge.
Now, of course, in hard mode, the silvers are not useful until Ganon's room, since they do not work anywhere but Ganon's room.
And Jet's actually going to mirror at the top of the pyramid. He's going to check the two chests in Castle Tower.
Yeah, this is some good heads-up routing by Jet, since they're right here, right in the area. They have the mirror, they have the small key and the lamp, so they can go and check it.
Now, Glan's going to pick up this third pod or Turtle Rock small key. Is he going to dip Turtle Rock without the fire rod?
Well, they can't since they don't have the hammer.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that hammer locks so much in this world.
He's going to take that Thieves Town key. He's going to dip back into Thieves Town. Let's see, though, if he decides to go north into Skull Woods.
So there was our third shield just then. Jet picking up that fire shield from Aghanim's Tower. So nothing in Aghanim's Tower worthwhile.
Yeah. And Glan's going into Skull Woods, so he'll get his Fire Rod and Pod big key. And Thieves Town small key, hopefully. If he continues to the back, which, after getting that Fire Rod, I think he will.
And finally, after we got the mushroom like 10 minutes in, we're finally going to check and see what it yields to us.
Alright, it is 20 rupees.
They must have had a sixth sense about this because they didn't bother to check it among their like last one-off checks to get progression.
Why is Glan pushing the statue? He's got a cane.
Oh man, I hate when people forget stuff like that, especially myself, but it happens. And we will see what one of the other grumpy fish has for us. Sorry, there's only two, so what the other grumpy fish has for us. And it is...
Our other sword!
Our fourth sword! That's the last sword!
Okay, so... yeah. Glan's not going to get burned by any of those checks. Jet's got his tempered as well, so that helps him.
Alright, looks like, of course, Glan is much more thoroughly equipped to kill Mothula in this instance. So we will see whether Skullwoods is a crystal or a pendant.
I think for Jet, his next play is going to be check these bomb crack locations. He'll activate his flute and then do desert and the mire area.
I love seeing the quickness for Glan to use enough fire rods to take down his magic meters so that he'll have enough time to use a fire rod shot while it's still filling up after picking up that full magic refill. Very nicely done.
Ooh, Glan almost got grabbed there. You can get grabbed even in the falling animation.
Now, in the regular game, you could not hurt Mothula with gold swords. So trying to do a tempered sword spin will act as if it was a gold sword, and it will not hurt Mothula. And Skullwoods is just dependent.
So Glan or Jet not clearing Mothula might not hurt him at all. Glan will come back in. He'll get his GT big key.
So that is knowledge of two of the three pendants, and once we figure out where that last one is, we know where all the crystal dungeons are.
Alright. So Glan, I think with that big key for Thieves Town, that's going to be his next stop. Yeah, unless he finds the hammer in Thieves Town, he'll have to leave a chest behind. He also, I was gonna say he could elect to check Graveyard Ledge, but I think he did already. It's either him or Jet that checked Graveyard Ledge. I can't remember which one.
I know Jet did, but that was when they didn't have the boots.
But yeah, maybe it was Jet that checked. I think Glan's gonna go check that right now.
Okay, Glan steps back into the portal. And what are they? Are they heading further east? Probably. Yep.
Oh yeah, he is. This might be a mushroom catfish play.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think the hammer is in Thieves Town, and we just haven't. And it's gonna be in the back since we, of course, we haven't checked it yet.
I think this seed's mean. It's gonna be on Bolok's side of pod. Yeah, this chat brings up a good point. Glenn never checked Zora, so this is likely also going to be his Zora check. Or maybe not.
Glan, are you going back into Palace of Darkness? Maybe. No, they're gonna go check the pyramid. They've not checked the pyramid.
Yeah, he hasn't checked Pyramid. He might check Castle Tower while he's here. So as Glan's doing these extra checks, this gives Jet a chance to catch up a little bit.
Chat trying to say that the hammer is gonna be in Ice Palace, like, or in somewhere in like the big chest.
It could be Ice Palace Big Chest. That is a possibility. You can get there without the hammer.
Is Jet going to take a dip into Mire? They do have the necessary things to get in and beat it and fully clear it.
Jet can't get into Mire. He doesn't have Ether.
I was looking at the wrong medallion. Oops.
And the way Glan's going, which way he's gonna go? I think he's gonna check locked pod. He also does have an extra key, which would allow or another key, which would allow him to check the one which would allow him to check the one chest he left behind. I think the vanilla big key location. He could also elect to check the big chest, since he couldn't check that the first time around. So there are 4 chests he can get in here right now. He can't beat Pod, though he does not have the hammer. Unless he finds the hammer in one of these locations. One of which we know since Jet already checked it, which is the big chest.
Now, too many times I think I've seen the hammer be in that chest past the Bowlock session where you had to bomb the wall. And I just feel like that's a seed trolling us so hard.
We're about to find out. 2 chests on the Bollock side. First one is the single arrow unique item. And 5 rupees. So yeah, Glan's gonna go check the big chests. And then what he could do, which might be interesting, he could take a death and then save and quit, come back to the front, check that chest, and if it's nothing, he can do a reset and save the key. Let's see if he just takes a death here.
I do like that.
No, he's just not gonna check
Jet...
it. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and Jet is unfortunately going to be wasting time here because we already know that there is a heart piece in the hair basement.
So Glan's leaving that item behind. He's just not going to use that key at all. And he's dipping ice. So Glan can't get to Cold Steer. He can't get to the right side chests. But he can check all 3 hints and I believe 5 chests in total here. Okay, Swamp Palace Big Key locked itself today.
That's a great hint to find. Okay, what is in the compass chest in Ice Palace today? It is...
Big Key.
Big Key.
Oh, to Eastern. We can finish Eastern.
About time. And now the hammer can be at the boss of Eastern.
And I think we're seeing divergence. Jets, I think, is going to go for Thieves Town. Or he's going to go finish Skullwoods.
But then they might check Thieves Town afterwards.
Well, some casualties in Thieves Town. We might have already gotten it, though. I see chat is rooting for the hammer and pedestal. It depends on what the third pendant is.
Yeah, if the third pendant is Pod, Swamp, or Ice Palace, then it is not going to be on Ped. But if it's any other ones, it could very well be there.
It would have to be Eastern or Meyer at this point. Or Thieves Town, actually.
So only 3 chests left to check here in Ice Palace for Glan.
We get a small key to Turtle Rock. That's all 4 Turtle Rock small keys. And there's the hammer!
Who called it? I know someone called it in the chat. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Well, that opens up a lot.
Wow. That's amazing. So, that's probably about one of the worst places that could be.
Because Jet's likely not heading in there until he finds the hammer. And looking at our big key situation, yeah, we need the ice rod. We might need ether, but that's it. Because we have every other big key already.
Yeah, you're very right in that. So ice rod could be the last thing we need, and an ether if Meyer isn't a crystal.
Yeah, Glan's gonna just full clear this now.
Yeah, no reason to leave these behind if there's a chance it could be ice rod or something like that.
So we know, unless Jet finds ice rod or ether in here, we know he's not going to find anything that's going to give him too much progression. And it might be a bad thing if it gives him ether, because he may go clear Meyer first.
An interesting thing to note here, Glan did save that last House of Darkness key that he had, so they could be potentially looking to just finish it up and hope that there's nothing else important in there.
So Glan didn't bomb jump. He has to do this the traditional way. Though with Kana Samari, he still can clear this. If you're ever coming into Ice Palace, basically if you don't have Kane, you have to bomb jump. But if you have the Kana Samaria, you can skip the bomb jump if you need to. Alright, here's Cold Stare Fight. Glan's using Bombos, which is a little slower, but it does save magic if he wants to use some Fire Rod shots. Oh, Glan's got to be careful. Down to a heart and a half. Jet's on his blind fight. Oh! Glan takes a death on Cold Stare.
That's rough. That's really rough.
Yeah, Glan did a quick map check after that.
Meyer is a crystal, so ether is required.
Yeah, Glan's not letting that discourage him. He's going right back in.
And it looks like Thieves Town was the last pendant, so we know what all the other crystals.
I think Jet's gonna go pull Ped.
That would be awesome.
If this is Ice Rod or Ether, that's big for Jet. Alright, here we go.
And it is
a potion,
a bottle.
Which is actually our first bottle.
You're right. Oh my goodness.
And Jet's gonna check it right away. He gets the cape.
Hey, but that gives us once Jet gets the hammer, that gives us Spike Cave access.
It does. Oh, Jet's going to Ice Palace. This is good for him. He'll get his hammer. Yeah, so that the cape could be needed if, if Spike Cave has something. So technically, Ped could not be dead. I don't know. It depends on where the other 3 bottles are.
Oh man, what if that was the answer? What that is an answer to like finding Ice Rod or Ether? Oh man.
But here's take 2 of Cold Stare for Glan.
You better luck this time.
He's got 2 puffs down. Oh, he's got to be careful. He's got him down. Okay. Just a map to swamp on Cold Stare. To answer a quick question, chat. No, all 4 bottles are still in hard mode. Potions only heal 7 hearts and half magic, but all 4 bottles are still here. And I think with it, yeah, Glan's gonna go do Eastern Pod right now.
Yeah, I think that Glan will probably just head straight for the boss in in House of Darkness, because I would venture to say that they don't care what's in the big chest. The vanilla big key chest in House of Darkness.
Yeah, that'd be the play. You don't want to. At this point, you just want to try to clear as much as you can. You just don't want to worry about that. It's 1 chest, and you're just thinking, what's the chances it's going to burn you? But I think Glan's going to do Eastern first. If he by chance stumbles upon a 5th pod key, he can at least grab that chest this way.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jet's got his hammer.
And they will continue to full clear Ice Palace as well.
Alright, new check coming up. What's in the big chest? Just a piece of heart.
Now we'll just have to wait and see what is at the boss of Eastern Palace, the Armos Knights.
Alright, so Glan, almost Armos, Jet continuing through ice. This should be a pretty standard NMG fight for Glan here.
A nice arrow drop right before entering the fight.
Just a blue rupee for his trouble. He'll get another crystal. Okay. Jet continuing through ice here. He's on his way to Cold Stare.
Yeah, now if Jet beats Cold Stare in one try, that will save him a little time over Glan, since Glan had to trek all the way back through Ice Palace to beat him, since he died the first.
Alright, Glan's on his way to Helmusar King. Looks like he did skip that verse just as expected. Cold Stare's down for Jet. So at this point, we've got Jet, he has 2 crystals. Glan is at 3. Jet also does have Thieves Town cleared. My guess is Jet will make the same play. He'll do Eastern Pod combo here. Or maybe he's just gonna go Swamp. And we get a map to Thieves Town. So if Glan didn't know what the last pendant was, he's about to.
You know, Jet going into the swamp. This will, they can skip both the big chest and the left side, since we know those are useless.
I gotta believe Glan's next play is gonna be just do Swamp as well, since he knows he can full clear that. Or maybe not. Is he gonna dip Thieves Town?
This could be interesting because Jet did not have the hammer when going into Thieves Town, so they can check the big chest as well.
Yeah, okay. I think Glan was thinking Thieves Town, then he's like, wait, is that a pendant? And when he saw it's a pendant, he decided no.
Yeah, that map check gave everything away there.
So yeah, Glan's not going to do Thieves Town for now. He's going to go do Swamp Palace.
And getting harassed a little bit by those flying mushrooms.
Okay. So Glan's going in as Jet's continuing his checks. There's our blue boomerang.
Yep, and then as expected, Jet is heading straight to the back, since we know everything else on the left side and the big chest is useless. Not often that you see, not often that you get all the information you need in Key Sanity for Swamp Palace to know that you don't have to check left side or the big chest. At least for me.
Mm-hmm. I got 300 rupees and 20 rupees in the back. 2 more chests in Swamp that could have something. Small key to pod. Alright, I think with that, assuming Jet doesn't find either other item in here, I think he goes to Eastern Palace and pod because he can get everything that's left in those now.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Which will be interesting if he does, because he'll get the one chest that Glan skipped. Two spins, Argus is down, and Argus has a small key to Castle Tower, which we know we absolutely don't need.
So, the only thing that came from Swamp was that Palace of Darkness small key.
Yeah. And let's see what Jet does with. Yeah. He's gonna combo Eastern Pod at this point. So we do know this won't yield anything unless that chest and pod that Glan didn't check has something. And if it does, this race swings wildly in favor of Jet.
We will just have to see.
As for Glan's gonna have an interesting decision. Does he go up to Turtle Rock, that he can get almost everything but no Ice Rod? Or does he dip Thieves Town, which he can full clear, but he knows it's a pendant?
Interesting choice here. I honestly probably go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same, Turtle Rock. Alright, but Jet's about to give us this check. Just a heart container, that's not gonna hurt Glan.
Where could the Ice Rod and the Ether Medallion be hiding?
Alright, Glan, what's your move? He's going to Thieves Town.
Okay. So, Glan will get to check the big chest in Thieves Town, which Jet did not have the hammer for earlier.
Yeah. And also, he will be able to check hammer pegs if he wants to. Because he was not able to check that.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that one as well.
So this is 2 more checks that Glan will have that Jet didn't. If something's at either of these locations, that's an advantage to Glan. If not, this gives Jet an opportunity to catch up. Because I think Glan will be finishing Thieves Town around the time Jet... Actually, I think Glan will finish Thieves Town a little faster than Jet will finish Pod and Eastern.
Nice God Pixel there. Interesting thing to remember. We still do not know what is in Spike Cave, and that would mean that the pedestal, at least for Jet, was very necessary.
Oh, and there was our Pyramid Fairy hint. We missed that the first time around, so we know Pyramid Fairy is nothing. We got Glan. He's gonna gonna grab the maiden, then he's gonna check that big chest.
Meanwhile, Jet finishing up House of Darkness, about to head, use the mirror and head over into Eastern as well, and finish it up.
Alright. Another big moment in the race. Does this chest have something? Oh, it's Ice Rod!
Unreal! Oh my goodness. Wow.
That's just put Glan in a major advantage.
Boy. Ooh, boy. However, we still don't know where Ether is.
That is true. We still need to find Ether to finish this seed. But Glan's dip into Turtle Rock paid off. Or not Turtle Rock, Thieves Town paid off. It'll get him through Turtle Rock. And that's likely going to be Glan's next spot.
So, JP, I want you to think back for a second. Do you remember when me and you first commentated together?
Not specifically. What are you thinking of?
Well, it was between Bonta and Zyrak, and it was a swordless seed, which means you need the silver arrows. And the silver arrows were in the Thieves Town big chest.
Oh, yeah. Remember that.
So now that makes two instances where we've commented together, and something very important was in the Thieves Town big chest.
That's true. Man. That Thieves Town big chest just really can mess with people. And I think it's something interesting worth noting here now, as I'm looking through the pendants. Every pendant dungeon was required. Not for keys necessarily. Well, actually, some for keys, but for items. Hera had hookshot, Swamp had fire rod, or Skullwoods had fire rod, and Thieves Town had ice rod.
Yeah, unfortunately, not quite an all dungeon seed, even though both players did end up going into Castle Tower. It's not quite an all dungeon seed since we don't need to beat Aghanim, but all crystal slash pendant seed, dungeon seed.
So this, I think, just checking Spike Cave. So for those of you holding on to that little bit of hope head was needed, here's your check. Now, it is technically possible that you just needed the cape for Laser Bridge. That is a possibility.
And it is... Aw, just a blue ruby.
Yep, just a blue rupee. So it might be needed for laser bridge, but yeah, I think you can pretty much call that dead. And unfortunately for Jet, he looks like he's going for Turtle Rock. Which you can't blame him. He's probably at this point hoping he finds the Ice Rod in Turtle Rock. It's the right play to make. We just know it's not going to pay off for him. Alright, Jet's about to open Turtle Rock, lands on his way over as well.
Now, if this hint... Oh, man, Jet doesn't have enough magic. I'll have to go back into Super Bunny Cave to get some. Interesting if this hint tells us something about ether.
Yeah, and Glenn also going through this way. I think he realized he needed magic, which is why he chose to come up this way. Or he didn't, and he's going to get a surprise when he tries to open Turtle Rock if he doesn't have enough magic.
Okay, actually, chat does point something out interesting. Since Jet will not find the Ice Rod here on Laser Bridge, it's very likely that they will maybe mirror out... Sorry, by the Laser Bridge portal, Laser Bridge entrance to Turtle Rock, and put the mirror there. And they can save that portal by dying and then saving a quitting after entering the Dark World again.
Yeah, he does have the option to potentially save that portal if he decides to, depending on how he decides to route it. And there was our boots hint.
But unfortunately, that's too far gone for us for that to be useful.
I think accidental double activation there by Glan. Or maybe it was frustration, I don't know. Jet misses a shot, but he should be able to get it back on this side. Got a map and a heart container on the Firelock side of Turtle Rock.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Turtle Rock is all we have left in terms of checking for ether.
Yeah, I think this is... There it is, never mind.
Well, I guess it really didn't matter anyway. Oh, Jet is mirroring out, so I guess they won't have to worry about Laser Bridge, at least right now.
This might be... He feels behind. He's betting that Ice Rod's in Mire. Now, I don't know how much left Jet will have left to check after this.
But anyways, once Glan comes in here and gets ether, they will be in go mode.
And that is it at 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 20 seconds. Glan's in go mode. Yeah, and Glan's going straight for Trinex. He knows he needs nothing else.
Yeah, Glan will be able to head straight to the back of Turtle Rock and also head straight to the back of Misery Mire, which Jet is not doing.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Jet, he's played this seed very well. It's just his decisions didn't pay off. Like his routing just, unfortunately, he just didn't hit any of his checks in the right order, and that's what really killed him here. Now it's not over. Glan still needs to finish. And the GT climb in hard mode is not easy at all.
Yeah, no. Hard mode it makes things a bit more difficult to do, especially the Ganon's Tower climb, and also the Ganon fight. And also the Vitreous fight, since you can't use silver arrows.
Just to give a look ahead to tomorrow, in case anybody's curious, these two already do have their Race 2 plans. Despite what happens in this one, Race 2 will happen tomorrow. And it will be an all dungeons open swordless Randomizer at same time, actually. 2:30 Eastern.
Ooh, Glan, I don't think Glan stepped... Okay, they have a potion. That's good for them.
Yep, the pedestal came through. That seed tomorrow will be a normal mode seed. And there's some green goo.
Only our second bottle. Now, the only way this might work out better for Jet is if they decide to go straight to Thieves Town Big Chest to check and see if Ice Rod's there, which is it would be the right choice, and it would allow them just to go straight through Turtle Rock.
He might have a little incentive since he hasn't checked hammer pegs. So, you know, he could always reasonably could check the other one right after. Did Jet find a small key to pod in here?
I guess so, because they have 6 keys to it on their tracker now.
That's interesting because... No, I guess at the bow location you couldn't key lock yourself. Yeah, you couldn't. Okay. I'm assuming the book's in GT. as long as the book is in GT, then there was no possible way for you to keylock yourself because you needed the flute to get the bow to finish pod. So you couldn't waste the 6th key.
Yeah, I think sounds right.
Yeah. I know in previous versions of Key Sanity, if you used your keys in pod incorrectly, there was a chance of being hardlocked if you killed Helmasaur King before getting all 6 keys.
Glan's showing us some spooky action over here.
Yeah, I haven't figured out too much about the spooky action, which I know it's an elevation variable that causes it to happen, but I'm not 100% sure of the details behind it. And meanwhile, over on Jet's side, he's going back to Turtle Rock. Unfortunately, this is going to hurt him even more. Again, you can't blame him for it. It's the right play in terms of chest density. Unfortunately, we just know it's not the right one for him in this seed.
Now, this is where that portal idea could come into play, if they know how to do it correctly.
Over on Glan's side, he's got 7 crystals. In fact, he's got all 10 dungeons done. It's time for a dip into Ganon's Tower. And so we play usually a game on this channel, but no game today.
Yeah, we usually would have you guess a number between 1 and 22 to see where the Ganon's Tower big key would be in Ganon's Tower, but since it's Key Sanity, and since we've already found it, we don't need to play that game. Sorry, guys. Chat deciding to go ahead and put numbers anyway, but you know, do what you want, chat. No game, but put your numbers in anyway.
So Glan almost on his way to Glan's on his way to GT, almost there. He can just go straight into the gauntlet. And unfortunately, the way things are going, I think Jet will be finding his Ice Rod around the time Glan is dropping into the Ganon fight. Because I think after this, all he's got left is Thieves Town and the Hammer Pegs.
At this point, it's really Glan's race to lose. They just need to do the right execution all the way up through the tower climb, and execution through Ganon fight, and they will win this race.
Does have to be careful on this climb, though. I mean, he's at 8 hearts with Blue Mail. It's not a given in any way. He's got to be careful.
He needs to watch their arrow count.
There's an arrow pot in here if he needs it. And then he also can grab some arrows on the climb up. I just checked Mimic Cave, just 10 arrows. At this point, if you're Jet, you don't want to see the book or something like that. Like, I think the book's the only thing that you don't want to see, really.
Yeah, because that would lead to more unnecessary checks, and it would just cost them even more time.
Glan's continuing through the gauntlets. Doing well so far. So yeah, for those of you who came in late, what the deciding factor in this race was basically this. Glan dipped Ice Palace before Thieves Town. Jet did Thieves Town before Ice. The hammer was in Ice Palace Big Chest, and then the Ice Rod to complete Turtle Rock was in the Thieves Town Big Chest.
Oh,
Jet
we got
just picked up.
powder on the laser bridge.
Yeah. Luckily for Jet, he already checked Magic Bat. And there's our third bottle. And Jet's out. Not even thinking about saving a portal.
Yeah, no portal saving, I guess, today for Jet.
And he's heading to 3. We'll see if he does Thieves Town first or second. Yeah, in this situation, if you're Jet, you're hoping your opponent also dipped Thieves Town before Ice Palace. And he's going to do Hammer Pegs first.
Hopefully the book isn't here. Wait, no, we already saw Hammer Pegs, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Because Glan was still looking for Ether at that point.
Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah, and Glan's finishing up Moldorm 2. Jet's going back into Thieves Town.
Yeah, so I think your prediction about where they would each be, Glan about to enter an again fight and Jet picking up the Ice Rod, that's pretty spot on. Missing all two shots there. Okay, this needs one more hit and Naga 2 will be down.
Yep. Naga 2's down as Jet goes into the basement 2 rooms away from his Ice Rod.
Good call, JP.
Yeah. And Jet kind of stares for a second as he saves and quits.
And in 1 hour, 49 minutes, and about, I guess, 8 seconds, Jet is finally in go mode.
Yeah, like I said, in this situation, if you're Jet, you just hope your opponent did the same thing you did, dipped Ice before Thieves. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Or sorry, I meant dipped Thieves before Ice. But yeah, Glan already on phase 2. Down to 2 hearts, 1 more hit, and Glan will take a death. He has a green potion, but does not have a red or blue potion. Ooh, takes a death.
Glan's gonna need about, like, 15 Ganon deaths for it to be relevant.
One cycle phase 1. At least I can get the one cycle phase 2, it looks like.
No, not quite. I think that's one more hit needed. Oh, not quite.
Yeah, it was one hit off. Glenn actually used the cape glitch there, where he put the cape on, grabbed it onto the wall, didn't drain his magic.
Yeah, on to phase 3 now, and just almost done with it. In fact, and they've already equipped their silver arrows, ready to shoot the big pig 4 times.
That's a triple to start. One more shot and it's down.
And with that, Glan has just defeated the big pig. Everyone get your GGs in chat for Glan.
Glenn has officially finished in first place with a finesse RL time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 52 seconds. And Glenn will take game 1 of this 3-game set. Jet will need to win game 2 tomorrow to force the game 3, while Glenn can win game 2 tomorrow to make it to the top 8.
Yes, very nicely done from Glan.
So we're trying to get Glenn in for an interview. Looks like we should get him in here shortly. Meanwhile, we've got Jet on the Trinex fight.
Looking better than how Glan's fight went. And down goes Trinex for Jet. And they will have all 7 crystals, and they are right next to Game's Tower to enter it. And here we have with us Glan joining us in the interview room. How are you, Glan? GG.
Thank you.
So how'd you feel as soon as you were able to full clear Thieves Town and find that ice rod in the big chest?
I actually wasn't really thinking that that could be a large advantage, because I kind of forgot at that time that that I was able to do Thieves before getting the hammer, that I had both the keys. So I really fell behind the entire time because I had a lot of sloppy routing and the cold stare death, and
Yeah, no, I guess
I did feel good about finding it before going to Turtle Rock, though.
Yeah, this was kind of the rare seed where it wasn't a key you needed for go mode. It was well, in your case, it was ether that you needed for go mode at the end.
It's a key of sorts to enter the dungeon.
That's true.
yeah, that finding the ice rod was pretty good, and then I just got ether and I could go mode Turtle Rock, go mode Mire.
Yeah, so you seem to skip. I mean, in your routing, you seem to skip quite a few locations. Some of them you came back to it. Were you taking were you just playing a little differently based on your opponent, or was that generally how you play?
I did do kind of a bit of unusual routing here, like skipping Catfish. But like in that case, I really felt that the thing I should be doing is going down, checking Pyramid and Castle Tower, and then going over to Pod. Because I had the 3... I think that was before I went to Pod the first time. Or was it the double dip? I think it was the first time. But yeah, like I had 3 Pod keys at some point when I did the first dip, and like that's kind of the number I go by for when you should really do a dip in the Pod and key sanity.
That's fair. So when you went into Ice Palace, you did still have Thieves Town available. Is there a reason that you went to Ice Palace before Thieves?
I don't know, maybe I just forgot. I'm not... I guess I had it available. I almost went to Ice earlier too, but I kind of stopped myself when I realized I didn't have the hammer. But that would have been really, really good for me if I had not stopped myself.
Yeah, that's true. That's, I guess, similarly though, you were at a position towards the end where, after Swamp, where you had Thieves Town available and Turtle Rock, that you could get everything but Trinex.
Yeah.
I think at that point you also knew it was a pendant. So is there? What was your thinking of just going for Thieves Town over Turtle Rock at that point?
I kind of just, I wanted to look elsewhere for the Ice Rod first. And Thieves Town's pretty fast, and then I'd be able to pull Pet right after, and it's right there. And Peg Cave is also nearby, which I'd isolated before. So I figured it's just a bet. Also, I felt really behind, and I figured I figured Jet would probably go straight for Turtle Rock because it's a lot of items.
Yeah, that is actually what he did.
So I tried to take the other play.
Yeah. This note on Jet's side, he did check the Moldworm 2 chest, found the Skullwood's big key, and promptly quaked the chest.
Yeah. Speaking of Skullwoods, the skipping it early really didn't help me. That was some of my sloppy routing.
Yeah, you did have the Skullwood's hint for the big key before you went there, right?
Yeah, I had seen that.
Okay.
I guess I kind of figured, like, I know I'm going to be going there eventually for the big key. I'm going to see if I can find the fire rod first. And just get it all in one go.
Yeah, that's fair.
But of course it had to be in there. And also the pod big key, which I didn't have on my first dip.
Well, your collection rate on this is pretty low for a key sanity seed. 147 out of 216.
Yeah, it is pretty low. I guess, I mean, I didn't check most of Turtle Rock or any of Mire. So.
Yeah, you did have a Go Mode Turtle Rock, Go Mode Mire. I don't think you opened a single chest in GT.
Yeah, none of them.
You know, we've got Jet on the Ganon fight now. Already on to phase 3. Just gotta get through the teleports, then 4 arrows into Ganon. Yeah, this actually was also an interesting seed in that you did need to dip all the dungeons, because every pendant dungeon had a required item.
Yeah. And Hera was kind of funny, like, it gives you super early Hera big key lamp mirror. Like, okay, well, something has to be there.
Yeah.
But then I kind of forgot about that chain, and I put off checking the shovel spot, which I was kind of kicking myself for, because it's like, if it was so important to go and get the hook shot, then the only progression item that really gave me that I could use was the shovel.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jet has finished the race. Official SRL time of 2 hours, 1 minute, and 20 seconds. We'll see if Jet is going to join us as well.
Yeah, GG's in the chat for Jet, everyone.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything else we can ask while we're waiting for. See if Jet's going to join us. Okay, looks like Jet is coming in.
There was the fantastic first hint in Ice Palace.
Oh yeah, the Swamp Palace big keys and Swamp Palace big chest. Alright, and we are joined now by Jet. Good game, Jet.
Hey, GG, Glan.
GG.
Yep, that ice rod.
That ice rod.
That was I was thinking when I entered ice, I set up the bomb jump, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to clear this dungeon. Why am I doing a bomb jump? And I'm like, there's a small chance Hammer's here. Let me do the bomb jump, because that's my role. Always do bomb jump. And then we get Hammer in the big chest. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm clearing this dungeon now. But yeah, the Thieves' big chest always on my mind, but I just had to gamble. Like, I had to assume it's not anything, because essentially, if the item's there and Glan in this case, gets there early on, depending on his routing, I'm gonna lose. So I just have to keep playing and assume it's not anything at that point, because it's so late once I got Hammer after Thief.
Yeah, I was thinking that was probably your biggest hope there, was that once you got that ice rod, that Glan had made the same play as you and dipped Steve's down before ice.
I don't even remember where the ice big key was. I know I had it somewhat early, so I remember thinking, oh, I could just do ice whenever I want after I get Hammer.
Yeah, it was really early, but I don't quite remember where.
I don't fully. So my only hope was like maybe he skipped that, and he ended up going into ice or leaving right after getting boots. No, not boots. What the heck was in the first chest?
That was a big key to something, I think.
Big key to Eastern.
Eastern, that's right. Yeah, that's the one. And like maybe he left right away to go clear Eastern. Like I had to like hope something like that happened once I got the Hammer. I'm like, okay, I was feeling pretty good after I got boots and flute in pod and getting Hammer and ice. I'm like, it's a goofy seed, and I felt like I could have routed it a lot better, but I'll take what I can get. But yeah, just the ice rod, like, being so late. And I was really hoping finding Ether in Ether in Turtle Rock, that hey, it would be great if ice rod was actually in Mire. Like, that probably would have been the best for my situation. Because I left right away, I'm like, let me go clear Mire first and hope I get ice rod. That way I could just, go mode the rest of Turtle Rock. Like, that probably would have been the best case scenario for me. Or yeah, just hope that he also put off the big chest because of just, where Hammer was.
Yeah, it seemed like for your routing today, you had a good plan for routing, but just every check you made, at least out of the way checks didn't seem to pay off for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I go for numbers, and especially in key sanity, I don't feel too bad, since maybe you'll just get some keys that you need anyway. So there's a lot more items that you need to beat the game. So I don't mind, checking a bunch of things on the way. And I always go for numbers. I'm like, whatever happens to have the most number of chests, and I'll go there. And eventually it happened to be ice. But I wanted to do thieves first, because I didn't know it at the time it was a pendant, but just the number of items, and it's a dungeon I can clear. So I'm like, let me go do this. I did Skullwoods first, just in case Hammer was on Mothula. And then, of course, did Thieves, no Hammer, Pulphead, get a fetch quest chain. It's just hoping for that Hammer at that point. Because I really didn't want to go into Ice, or even check the first chest in Swamp without Hammer. I'm like, if it's there, like that just sucks for everyone involved.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of worried of Hammer being in Swamp, because I did check the first chest on the way to Hype Cave.
Okay.
Before Hype Cave. And I didn't want to go back after getting the small key. And I almost knew that was going to happen as I was doing it.
Yeah, we noticed that you dipped into Swamp, you checked the one chest in the hints, and then you went to Hype Cave and immediately got the Swamp Palace small key, which would have opened up a second chest for you.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, I'm not going back. If that's the Hammer, I'll just lose. It's fine.
Yeah, if the Hammer, if the Swamp small key's in its vanilla chest, it's gonna hurt both of us, because when are we ever gonna check those things?
So, you guys have race 2 set up for tomorrow. I'm going to be doing all dungeons, open, swordless, normal, Randomizer. How are you feeling about that?
Well, that's Glan's pick, so I'm guessing he feels pretty good about that.
Feeling okay about it.
This will actually be my first swordless this whole tournament.
Yeah, I think... I was just thinking back to our group stage. I don't even know how often swordless was picked. I don't think it was picked that much, because I avoided...
purposely picked it. I know the bot tried to pick it, but then we had
I picked it a few times.
Yeah, I was just thinking in our group, I don't think anybody... I know I avoided swordless throughout my tournament run.
Yeah, I think all the vetoes in my group, at least against me, were swordless. Just everyone vetoed swordless.
Yeah, I think it's one of those modes where a lot of people can do it. It's just they don't want to do it. It's not that more they don't want to than they can't.
Yeah.
But it is interesting for an Randomizer seed, because it means for a lot of bosses you need to find that hammer before you can start killing them.
I mean, in general, for swordless, hammer is so important. Because that's what you need to unlock the tablets, to use the medallions. It replaces the sword, but there's only one of them. So its importance is so much higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed you can't dash. An Randomizer... I mean, Randomizer dashing is more dangerous than usual anyway. But when you have a sword, at least you have that little safety. Now you don't have that. You have to, walk everywhere. Or just not find boots.
Yeah, that implies you find boots first.
Yeah, so both have that seed tomorrow. Glenn, you're looking to advance to the top 8. Jet, you gotta get the win to force game 3. See, I'm looking who you'd play next if you were to win. Oh yeah, you got Salty Fry Thalane, whoever wins that one.
Yeah, that's a worrying matchup.
Yeah, I think
Thalane... I was worried
Thalane...
enough against Jet.
I know they're both really good runners. Thalane is essentially the Europe champion, I would think, because he won that match between the German and French tournament winners.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, first you got to get to the next round, though. Got to finish up this round.
Yeah. Just gonna play, see what happens.
Yeah, well, good game to both of you guys. Any final thoughts?
Well, looking forward to game 2.
Yep.
And hopefully Ice Ride's in a better location.
Or not needed at all.
Well, it's all dungeons. Oh, but that's true. It's also Randomizer. Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Yeah, make sure to give these runners a follow if you enjoyed the race they put on today. They will be racing again tomorrow. Their race 2 is scheduled for tomorrow at the exact same time, actually, 2:30 Eastern. Channel still to be determined. Make sure to check the schedule for that. Also, quick thanks to our tracker, Febreze Ninja, and also to my co-commentator, Relkin.
Yep, good stuff today. It was a great race. Thanks for being my co-commentator, JP.
Yep, good working with you. Looking ahead for today's schedule, we got left. There's no more tournament races today, but in about 45 minutes, we will have the Link to the Past Randomizer Weekly Open Race. That will also be on Speed Gaming 3. We will have it broadcast here. Just a weekly open race. It is actually open to anybody, and the race room is already open if you want to join it. Usually get a pretty good turnout for those weekly races, like 40, 50 people. So, yeah, if you're interested in that, make sure to go check it out right now. We'll be featuring 4 of those runners on the restream. And then, as we said, we have one race tomorrow. These 2 racers, Glan and Jet, will be racing again. Same time. Channel to be determined.
All right, and I guess with that, we shall wrap things up. I've been Relkin. I'll see you guys later.
Have a good day, everybody.